Hey everybody, welcome back to Silky Pixels. Thank you so much for watching. So today we're going to be showing you how to do makeup on your avatar. Here's the before and after. So first you want to get your inspiration. Any picture will work. I just got this picture, a regular little basic cut crease with glitter. You want to start out a palette of colors. If you want to use the colors in the inspiration photo, I suggest using the eyedropper tool and making a separate layer and just copying the colors. But for me, I wanted the colors to match the wig and the outfit, so I did like blue, yellow, orange. You can't really see the orange part of the wig because of this being a close-up picture, but yeah, this is just me picking out the colors that I want and making a separate palette on a separate layer, not on top of, the picture of your avatar, but a separate layer just to use the eyedropper off of, so you don't have to keep going back and trying to find the colors on the color wheel. So now I'm adding the layers to clip down. The first thing I'm gonna do is the lid, and I'm gonna do the lid blue. And I'm taking the fade. I think I used the fade pen. I used the fade pen or the soft pen, one of those. And I'm just gonna color over the lid. And sometimes you can use your avatar's eyes as a guide. If not, just go by the shape of that eye, And I'm just blending out the end of it with the blend tool. I'm just blending out the end so that way when I do the back layers for the colors and the crease, it'll look good. And now I'm just doing the cut crease as well, and I'm starting with that dark orange, and I'm gonna use the airbrush tool. No, I'm using the pink, sorry. That dark pink, I'm using that, and I'm airbrushing it on top. And when you're doing this, make sure you chop the eye out of that layer. So like the layer is on top and it's clipped down, but if you chop the eye out, it won't look like your eye is pink. Now I'm going underneath that with another layer, and I'm just doing the deep orange underneath it. And I'm going back into that same layer with the pink, and I'm adding some on top of the orange at the bottom as well. So it looked like her makeup is like blended out underneath her eye as well. I merged those layers down together, made it transparent, and now I'm just chopping the eye out, like I said, so the eye won't look like it's painted. I'm also using that same blue lid layer to draw a blue waterline. Like, you know how people have their makeup done, they have the waterline white usually, but sometimes it's different colors like blue, pink, you know, etc. So I'm gonna clip a layer down to the blue lid area, make it add, and I'm gonna use a sparkle brush. I'm not sure what brush this is, but if I can find it, I'll leave a picture of it somewhere here or a link to it in the description bar. But I just go over it with the brush and just make the lid sparkly. After that, you want to merge the clip layer down and then merge that layer down to the bottom layer with the pink and orange. And now your eyeshadow is done. Now you want to move on to the face, and you want to use your eyedropper tool to pick up the lightest shade on the cheek. And you're going to start highlighting under her eyes with that shade using the airbrush. And you don't want to go too heavy if your avatar's skin isn't really like, if it doesn't need to be bothered, I say don't bother it. But if you need to bother it, just do it how you see people doing their makeup in real life. Just use the lightest shade to highlight and then use the darkest shade to contour. I'm adding and clipping down another layer underneath it, and I'm taking the lightest shade again with the eyedropper tool, and I'm carving the eyebrows a little skinnier because I like skinny eyebrows on my avatar. But unfortunately this head didn't come with like adjustable brows, so whatever brows that the head had, that's the ones I had to use. And the creator, she doesn't do customs, so yeah. But I just start with the top and I carve out the bottom of the eyebrow, and then I take a deeper color from the face and just add it underneath and then blend it together, because it just makes the eye look kind of white underneath the eyeshadow. Because granted, the eyeshadow is a layer, but it's not a thick layer, so it wouldn't look right just leaving it all light brown like that. Now I'm doing the top of the eyebrow. I suggest using the fade pen for it. And what you do is you start with small ones and then you end it with big ones and just blend it out, because The forehead is like the middle of the forehead is much lighter than the surrounding. So I would say just start with a small fade pen, blend it out with a lighter one, and then just use the blend tool to make everything blend together. Now I'm just going back into that top layer and adding that same light color from the under eye to the forehead, just to make everything look very seamless. And also using the eraser to erase the eyebrows out, because the top layer and the bottom layer are both skin layers, but you don't want to cover your eyebrows and make your eyebrows look super light if that's, not how you want it to look. Now I'm adding another layer and I'm contouring her nose and her cheeks. And I use the darkest shade. I think I got it from her chin, but I just use the darkest shade to contour her cheeks. I like the nose contour that has like the little circle on it, just to make everything look like super snatched. That's how I like it. But yeah, I just struggled with it just for a little bit because I realized it was a bit dark, so I had to go back in and blend everything back together. And I'm doing another shade, and I'm like going in around the mouth and just coloring it in with a airbrush tool, because when I took the photo, the color was off in the room and I didn't feel like fixing it, so I just told myself I will edit it. And yeah, but I also chop the lips out when I do this because I want the lips the same. I really like my avatar's lips, so. So my avatar has a open thing with her head, like her mouth just looks really open. So I decide to go in with the lasso tool sometimes and just select the part of her mouth I want to close, and then I use the special tool to like slide up and just make it look like her mouth is closed, and then I'll just use the blend tool to blend it together after I finish. Now I'm clipping down a layer of soft light for the blush, and again with the airbrush tool in a light pink color, just adding blush to her face like Mona Leo, over the nose and over the cheeks and whatnot. Also clipping down a layer of soft light just to give her face a little more definition, her cheeks and whatnot, because I kind of lost her cheeks when I was editing around her mouth. So yeah, just use the soft light if you feel like you missed anything with the contouring on her cheeks and her nose as well. I'm also gonna edit her nose a little more, but yeah, just to give her face a little more definition. And with the soft light, I'm also shading her eyes to make it look more realistic, not just like the eyeshadows kind of just sitting on her face. And that's another good thing about the soft light layer. I'm also bringing in these lashes that I made. I haven't released these lashes yet, but they're really, really pretty. They look like minks. That's what they were inspired by, mink lashes. I'm just adding those to her face. I'm gonna double the layer and then horizontally flip it so I can put another lash on. These lashes are not official. They will be soon though. And then I'm gonna draw out her bottom lashes after this. I use the pen, the fade pen. Yeah, I used the fade pen to do it, but then I didn't really like how they looked. They just didn't look sharp enough for me. So I went back in with the dip pen, the dip fade pen, and redid them over it and just kind of used the first ones as like a shadow for them almost. Now I'm using a layer of Add and the color white, and I'm just highlighting her face like I would if I was doing my makeup in real life. And I'm doing her nose, her cheekbones, the corner of her eyes, her forehead, all that. And when you do the bridge of the nose, it doesn't matter how sharp the line is, you can always just blend it out the bottom. to make it look, you know, yeah, just thinner, a little thinner nose. And also you want to do just a little bit on the bottom of the face, like towards the chin, not too strong, but just to make the face look like it's a light bouncing off of it. I'm also gonna bring in a layer of ad for the lips, an overlay layer, and this is just to make the lips look a little more glossy. They just didn't look glossy enough for me. So you can get these on Pinterest. I'm gonna link my Pinterest board and below as well, so you can pick up some of the brushes and some of the overlay layers. So this is the finished look of the photo, you know, just the regular makeup. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.